So Julio Jones is officially calling it a career. The seven-time Pro Bowler has finally officially decided to retire from the NFL. One of the best receivers of the 2010 era. He was definitely up there with Megatron, Larry Fitzgerald, and no question he's a Hall of Famer. I'd be really surprised if anybody disagreed with that take. But yeah, Julio was one of the best to ever do it. Sucks that he never won a chip, never won a Super Bowl, but it's kind of weird. A lot of great receivers from that time never won a Super Bowl. Megatron, Larry Fitzgerald, Antonio Brown, Brandon Marshall. With the Atlanta Falcons, he had a total of 848 catches with 12,896 receiving yards, ranking first in the franchise's history. And that year, they went to the Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the Patriots. Julio was a complete stud in that playoff run. He caught a total of 19 passes for 334 with 3 touchdowns across 3 playoff games. But yeah, man, they were so close to winning that Super Bowl. We all know that. We all remember that game. In my opinion, that's the greatest NFL game of all time. That game is just the embodiment of the American dream, in my opinion. But yeah, even I remember it was in the fourth or the third quarter, Julio had just like an insane tiptoe catch against the Patriots in that game. And it just sucks, man, because that was his last good year in the NFL. In 2017, 2018, injuries slowly started to catch up to him, and his game slowly fell off. So that 2016 year was his last year of full prime Julio Jones. Also, in that 2016 year, he had his best game ever when he hit 300 receiving yards against the Panthers, becoming one of only 6 players ever to tally 300 plus yards in a single game. He's also the only player in NFL history to have 3 games of 250 plus receiving yards. So yeah, man, if you don't really remember his game at all, or if you're too young to remember, the stats really speak for themselves. He was also the fastest player in NFL history to eclipse 10,000 career receiving yards, needing only 104 games. He was also the fastest player in NFL history to eclipse 10,000 career receiving yards, needing only 104 games. The previous record was held by Megatron, who needed 115 games. And yeah, man, like I said, his last good year in the NFL was the 2016-2017 season. Most recently, he joined the Eagles, but he really didn't even get on the field. And after leaving Atlanta following the 2020 season, he spent a year with the Tennessee Titans. Man, that franchise just loves signing older receivers that are way past their prime. But yeah, he didn't do a thing there. And then after that, he signed with the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. And unfortunately, he didn't really do much there as well. So in total, he finished with 914 catches, 66 touchdowns, 13,703 and 13,703 yards, which ranks 16th most in NFL history. So yeah, man, just a complete freak athlete, one of the best of his eras, and definitely on his way to the Hall of Fame. Let me know, out of the 2010 wide receivers, who is your favorite wide receiver from that era? Is it Julio? Is it Fitzgerald? Is it Donald Driver? Is it Jordy Nelson? Is it Greg Jennings? Is it Brandon Marshall, Antonio Brown, Demaryius Thomas, Doug Baldwin maybe? I don't know. You let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious. But speaking of the Falcons, I actually came across their win totals for this upcoming year, and right now it's currently at 8.5. Now, if you're into sports betting, I would definitely recommend taking the over on that. That seems incredibly low. I just happened to see that randomly, and honestly, out of all the win totals projected for this upcoming season, that one is just seems really, really off to me. I totally expect that to be bumped up. by at least a game come August. I don't expect it to be over 10.5, but 8.5, man, that's crazy to me. I know Michael Penix is kind of unproven to a certain extent, but when he got there at the tail end of the season, he looked pretty good for a rookie QB, and all the rookie QBs from the 2024 draft class looked pretty good. So he fit in perfectly, and that's the thing about the Falcons a year ago, man. If they just would have pulled the trigger on Michael Penix 2-3 weeks earlier, they easily would have made the playoffs. Easily. And if he stays healthy and he has a good offseason, etc., etc., I know that's kind of a lot to ask for to a certain extent, but regardless, I totally see the Falcons breaking their playoff drought and making the playoffs in 2025 with Michael Penix. I don't know, that just kind of stood out to me in an ugly way. But you let me know if you agree with me. Do you think the Falcons will easily surpass 8.5 wins for the 2025 season? Or do you kind of agree with the sportsbook right now? Let me know. And it's especially weird if you just think about the NFC South as a whole. I know the Panthers looked pretty good at the back half of the 2024 season as well. But still, we have yet to see a good full season from Bryce Young, so we don't know if they're really going to be competitive or not. They could be, but I don't know. Just a big question mark. And of course, you have the Buccaneers there as well, and they're solid. I totally expect them to be the favorites to win the NFC South again. But at the same time, you have the Saints there, and that team is a complete dumpster fire. Maybe if they draft Jackson Dart, he could maybe give a spark to that team, and they could maybe be like a surprise random team for the 2025 season. But that to me is a long shot. So yeah, man, we'll see how it all plays out. Let me know what you think about Julio Jones and the state of the Falcons in general. If you made this far, please subscribe and like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
They are in 4-down territory, and the defense knows that.
Yeah, and if you get a situation like this, Jim, on the defensive side, you need one of your pass rushers to come through and get on that quarterback.
But the hit knocks the ball out.
Amaro is one of those guys. If he drops a pass or makes a mistake on the field, he doesn't make excuses. He knows no matter what the circumstances are, if you get your hands on the football as a receiver in the NFL, everybody expects you to work together.
The Jets are coming off a one-sided win a week ago.
And he'll go.
For Phil Simms.